Thank you and welcome to the show today. The topic today is the Minority Business Exchange, and we're fortunate to have with us this morning to talk about the Minority Business Exchange Mr. Joe Williams, and of course Mr. Williams is the president of the Minority Business Exchange, and Mr. Alan Smith. And Mr. Smith is the chairman of the Minority Business Exchange. And let me welcome both of you to the show this morning. And let me also make you aware that I gave your names in reverse, and they've probably got the graphics of the two of you mixed up, but we'll get all of that straightened out later on. But nevertheless, let me thank the two of you for coming by, Mr. Smith and Mr. Williams, to talk about what we consider to be a very, very important topic today, and that is the Minority Business Exchange. But before we get into that, Mr. Smith, as the chairman of the Minority Business Exchange, and the two of you are from Charlotte, North Carolina, as the chairman of the Minority Business Exchange, let's have you to give us some information about your background, your education, and your experiences. And of course, Mr. Williams will give us essentially the same, well, similar kind of information. And then we'll talk about the business exchange itself and get into some other things dealing with the African American and business situation, as well as the other minorities, because I'm sure that when you talk about minorities, you're speaking specifically about a large number of other groups outside of African Americans. So let's start off with you, Mr. Smith.
Well, actually, I am not from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm from Denver, Colorado. Moved to Charlotte, North Carolina about 2 years ago in marketing. I've worked in the radio marketing business for about 7 years now. And it is there where I began to see the real need for minority businesses and how we develop them and how we play a key part in the developing of our own minority businesses. I have a BA degree in communications from Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio, where I also studied and minored in speech as well. So I know a little bit about minorities and the role that we play in the economy, coming from a black institution, and of course working in black radio for 7 years.
Very good. Mr. Williams?
I'm actually from North Carolina. I was raised in Lewisburg, North Carolina. I've worked in the broadcast industry for about 12 years, sales and marketing. I made my way back to North Carolina after working for different corporations in different states about 1.5 years ago. That's where I met Mr. Smith. I was educated at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels, and I have a BA degree in economics. I think one of the most important things to reiterate what Mr. Smith said is that being in the industry that we're in and working with so many corporations, from the largest corporation to the smallest of businesses, we saw a lot of things that were needed in the minority communities as far as business issues are concerned. And we decided to get together and do some things to help that out.
And so, Mr. Smith, you have what we call the Minority Business Exchange, which in reality is a relatively new name in terms of organizations that are put together to help minorities. Now, let's talk about the Minority Business Exchange. What is it all about?
Well, when you said the Minority Business Exchange is relatively new, you're exactly right, but the concept is not new. The biggest difference with the Minority Business Exchange is that we are actively pursuing minorities to give them the proper information, and we are dedicated to that service, and we have been for 3 years now. And the way we do that, that is different than some of the other things that are out there, is the marketing aspect of it. Our marketing is very extensive. And what we do is we reach out to all of the pockets in all of the minority communities, not just the African American community, but the rapidly growing Hispanic, Latino community, the Asian Indian community, as well as minority women and disabilities. And what we do is we invite them for a very reasonable price and provide them with the best information to continue their business or develop their business as it relates to small business needs.
And so, Mr. Williams, this is a relatively new organization, 3 years old. And now, how did you become involved with Mr. Smith in this business?
Well, Mr. Smith, and he's very modest, but Mr. Smith actually did think of the Minority Business Exchange. It is actually his concept. And I think there are 4 steps in any business. It's concept, product, portfolio, and rewards. When I moved back to North Carolina, I met Mr. Smith. We were actually working for the same corporation. And it's kind of funny because we had the same ideas as far as helping the minority community is concerned. We decided to get together and we said, you know what, let's be proactive. Let's not be reactive. Let's take this thing and really turn it into something that can help people across the country. So what we have done is taken the concept and put together one of the best products in the country by partnering up with the U.S. Department of Commerce, Small Business Administration, and other fine entities to really take this information to the public. And when Mr. Smith talked about marketing, we don't want to just reach people who are on a mailing list or in a database. We want to be on television, and we want to be in the places where others aren't and say, hey, we've got something for you. We want you to come out. It's available to you, and we're going to show you all the things that you need to be successful to help your community and also to help the United States, because the United States is so dependent upon small business.
You know, let's talk about the status of some of the minorities in business today and the people that you're both attempting to help. Ms. Smith, let's start with you. Let's talk about how you conceive when you thought of this minority business exchange, how you saw the status of the folks that you were trying to assist.
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot going on that minorities are just not privy to as it relates to information in minority small businesses. If you walk in the same door at some of the financial institutions, you may not be able to get some of the same help that other people can get when you're applying for that loan to start your business. So what minorities have been doing is backdooring their way to these small businesses. As a result, you know, it's more than a 60% failure rate for the minorities. So what we are trying to do is show them the ways to get into the front door. And as Mr. Williams said, we have partnered with some of those government agencies as getting them and providing them a way to get into the front door. So we're going to try to eliminate a lot of what has been in the past with minority businesses, going through the back door, a lot of nepotism and things of that nature in business. We are going to teach them and help them learn the best possible ways to keep a good business going and taking it to the next level as well.
You know, Ms. Williams, considering the attempt to try to market this concept as a business, how would you explain to our audience this morning a typical kind of what you would do starting from your base in Charlotte, North Carolina? And I hope we don't enter a commercial break here, but starting from your base in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you might decide to, for example, institute this new concept in Nashville. What would be the kinds of steps that you would take to bring that into fruition?
Well, the first thing that we do is team with some of our partners to find out who some of the local agencies are, so we can come here, let's say Nashville, to find out who are the people that can actually help people here. We will use some of our sponsors and some of the other corporate entities that work along with us to use local contacts to come to this city, meet with people, find out the interest, find out who do we need to speak with, what mediums do we need to use in order to reach the people to take our product to. Then we'll go out and we will retain the best speakers on the best topics from all over the country. Our national speakers are coming in from all over. We'll also use local speakers, because when we leave a market, Minority Business Exchange is not gone. We want to make sure that the people that attend have a local contact so they can always get the information they need. And we also have a toll-free number that if they can't find the information, they can call us. We can refer them to someone in their market. So really, it's a hands-on approach. We feel like we're a part of Nashville. We've been here 6 or 7 times, meeting with people, and it's not just a one-day thing. It's something that we've been working on probably about 4 months just to bring it to Nashville, to make sure it comes here the right way.
I know, Mr. Williams, you've had quite recently a conference here in Nashville. But what was that? I mean, what do you generally do at these conferences?
Well, the conference is actually Saturday, February 12th. And what the conference is going to be, it's going to be held at the Sheraton Nashville Downtown Hotel. And what the conference is based on is, of course, providing all of that information through national speakers.
And let me interrupt for our first commercial break here,
Okay.
Ms. Williams. And we'll be